Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final section to mission 16, and we will be exiting the Dead City. And it's all pretty standard stuff once again, shooting soldiers, getting rid of power cells, and, you know, doing your thing. So watch what I do, follow my movements and my shot placements and everything and all that good stuff, and you will get past it. Not that you do need this video to do this, because let me tell you, this game is exceptionally easy. And that might make you think, why the hell are you making a guide to it? And it's because I said I would, and I try to stick to my word. But instead I'm going to talk about some different things. As you'll notice from the last few videos, that's what I've been doing, because there's not a lot of strategy to talk in this. And the subject I'm going to talk about is commentary. Check me out, aren't I original? And what I mean by this is I just went downstairs to get some water, because if you've never talked to yourself at length, and you're trying to fill every silence so you can't, sit and wait for your mouth to, get moistened once again, you get dry mouth and dry throat, and you can get real raspy. It fucking sucks. So a nice drink of refreshing water. If I had a sponsor, this is where I'd plug them, but I don't, so, shit, come on, Vita, sponsor me. But, you need a good old sip of water, and when I went downstairs, my dad had the football on, because I'm English, and thus we watch football. Sport that every American doesn't understand or perceive, and there's people that commentate it, and at half time, when they go into the go into the bloody locker room and snort cocaine and come back out all nice and angry, they talk about what's just gone by, what's just transpired in the previous 45 minutes. And it's always generally the same kind of conversation of, just like some dude wearing a suit who you can tell he's not the most intelligent of guys, but he's fucking awesome at football, so we'll completely let him off. And he generally says something along the lines of, well, I just thought they should have ran towards the goal and kicked the ball. And you just think to yourself, this guy's getting paid, he's on TV, he's on a massive fucking wage, and if I gave him, if I gave him a pop-up book, it'd probably occupy him for hours. It just makes me laugh at some of these fucking people. And don't get me wrong, there are intelligent people that play football, there are lots of them. I've got a bunch of friends that love it, and they're just as smart as me. I used to play football, I used to love it, but I kind of grew out of it. And it just got me to thinking that, can you imagine if people, maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, people are sitting on television, being broadcasted, doing what I'm doing right now? So, whoever your favourite commentator is, be it, any of the big names, any of the small names, just imagine if you could watch that person on TV, on some kind of publication, on a show that is specifically orientated around games or gameplay or something of that nature. It could be, anything. But just the concept of being a commentator on YouTube like this, doing it in your spare time, and then just what it would mean if that somehow took off, somehow evolved, and somehow eventually became what these people are doing on television. Because when you think about it, any sport, they go back at halftime and they talk about, the game that happened, basketball, baseball, cricket, mixed martial arts, any sport, it all happens on it. And the people that are a part of it, the fighters, the batters, the bowlers, whatever you want to say, they all eventually end up wearing a bloody suit and going on and talking about it, and they generally try and get the more intelligent ones, or the dudes that are capable of, filling a sentence with everything other than the word, because you hear that a lot when they talk on TV, man. I don't know if you've noticed this, but every 2 fucking minutes they'll ask some guy, and they'll be like, I just tried to, just came, and then, and it's very difficult not to say subconsciously. It's kind of a silence filler that we do, and it's compensation mechanic, because your brain's not moving fast enough to give you the words you need. And everybody does it, but it's really obvious when it's dumb people, and it's really obvious when it's on TV, because that's all you've got to see. There's nothing hiding it. And it just made me think that these people wearing the suits probably never even expected to be on TV talking about the sport that they love to do. And their careers then blossomed into something like that. So if gaming does get acknowledged as, being more than a bunch of sad, lonely, wannabe paedophile dudes living in their parents' basements, if it gets acknowledged as an actual thing to do that doesn't cause all these different illnesses, all these, social fucking disadvantages and antisocial behaviours and syndromes, and Morpheus told me to kill my entire family, so I thought, fuck it, I'll do it. And all this kind of stigma that gaming has got, if it completely loses that in the media and becomes a worthwhile medium, it could go there. It could feasibly go there if it gets enough, popularity. And gaming, I'm doing it again. I'm adding things to words, and it sucks. I'm so sorry. Gaming is one of the most evolutionary mediums that we have at this moment in time, because it's gone so far. Look where we've come in the last 20 years, and look how many people are following it. It's not just, you know, the dude with the massive wire-framed glasses, the dude who's got the plaster in the middle of them because he can't afford to buy new ones, the guy who sits and sweats covered in crisp packets because he's been eating potato chips or whatever you want to call them, and he's there in his lovely string vest itching his ass and just, you know, no girlfriend, no life, hoarder, because you've got to be a hoarder if you're a gamer, clearly. And, you know, he's receding, he's balding, he's greasy, he's nasty. And gaming isn't that anymore. Everybody games. You've got porn stars that game, you've got actors that game, you've got probably politicians that game. Everybody from every age are gaming now. And don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of people that are afraid to mention it because they seem to think they're going to get looked upon in a different light because gaming's got such a negative connotation attached to it. But who knows, man? In the future, maybe we'll completely lose this inhibition that games are for children, because that's the way they've been marketed ever since the conception. Maybe we'll somehow start to, you know, admit that this is art. You don't go into a gallery and say that's for fucking kiddies. And I mean, some of this artwork, I mean, in my opinion, I know it's very, very suggestive, is not art. I mean, if you take a shit and splash it on a canvas, that's not art, but to some people it is. I mean, babies do that in nappies every day of the year, and they're not called artists. Yet, you don't call art childish. Think about it, man. Think about it. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. And you take care now.